Indiana Beer Reviews. And Indiana, John Sharon, I guess we could say Indiana Beer Reviews. We're getting together tonight to look at a modern classic, really. And you can tell the audience what it is, John.
It's Anchor Steam from San Francisco.
Yes, Anchor Steam. Now, this beer is a little, well, how do I say it? The company started in the 1890s, 1896, but you might know this. They had really hit the skids in the mid-'60s. By the late 60s, they were pretty much out of business. They only had one employee, and they had problems with dirty beer and everything, and nobody was buying it. So this new guy bought it. I guess he probably bought it for very cheap, the company, and he started bringing it back and reorganizing it and cleaning it up. They've since moved to a different location in San Francisco. And the modern Anchor Steam really has only been out since 1971, okay? And it was, I guess you could say, the first craft beer ever, in a way. And it kind of started the movement. Now, you know, the first 20 years that movement was very small, but it was steadily growing, and now it's very big. It's 4.9% alcohol. There's two-row pale and caramel malts, and they use Northern Brewer hops. And Anchor Steam is, it's hard to say why they call it that, because even the company says they're not really sure why they call it steam beer, but they do ferment it at higher temperatures than normal.
Now mine actually came from San Francisco.
You mean you bought it in San Francisco?
A friend of mine smuggled it back from San Francisco on a plane, so that's where mine actually came from. So.
Well, mine also came from San Francisco, but it was shipped to Metairie, Louisiana, and I bought it there. Anyway, you ready to check this beer out?
Yep, you ready?
Yeah, I had it on draft one time in 2006 when I was in San Francisco. I was at an Italian restaurant, and I had it on draft with a Dungeness crab, and it was awesome on draft.
Most beers are a little better on draft.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever had this one.
Not on draft.
It was fantastic, and then the coffee that I had after was really good. That was a fun trip to San Francisco.
It was.
You've been out there, huh?
No, I never have.
It's worth it. I drove out there from Louisiana because I was doing this baseball trip, and I had to go to all the major league, stadiums out in California and Arizona and Colorado. So I made a circle, but it was worth it. Anyway, I'm getting a pretty thick, somewhat off-white head. It's kind of spongy, and the appearance is, I would say, amber, huh?
Yeah, kind of a coppery color.
Yeah. Looks kind of like...
My head's kind of come down a little bit, but it's got a little bit of lacing hanging on it.
Yeah, mine's sticking around now.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Shiner Bock, really. If you didn't know any better, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Till you tasted it.
But it's got a lot of bubbles coming up off the bottom, and it's a good coppery color.
Yeah, I can see some bubble streams. They're not they're not like racing to the top, but they're leisurely going up there.
Yeah.
Another beer is Croissant.
Yeah.
So is Budweiser, so, take that for what you will.
Yeah.
I mean, people will say that it's some unusual process. It's a pretty common process, really. It's really got a good aroma.
Yeah. I smell a little bit almost like a grainy malt with a little bit of grassy.
Yeah, it almost has some kind of sweet syrupiness in it.
Yeah, almost bready type.
Yeah, like almost some kind of sweet bread.
Yeah.
And that hoppiness in the nose gives it almost like a spice bread aroma.
Yeah.
Well, I think It's wonderful. Now, the reviews, Beer Advocate saying it's very good, and Rate Beer is giving it 77 out of 100. But the bros on Beer Advocate say it's world class, which is the highest possible score.
95 is what they're giving it.
Yeah, so I mean, the smell is world class to me. I mean,
it smells phenomenal.
I don't know how beer could smell better than this, but you ready for the taste?
Yeah. A little bit of toffee type flavor in it, you reckon?
Yeah, a little bit. It's got a bread crust thing going on. Some of that toffee, like the yeastiness. Definitely a good amount of hop bitterness at the back end of the sip.
Yeah.
Like a grassy hops.
Yes.
The
bitterness at the end is just phenomenal.
It's so perfectly balanced. It's like not too bitter. It's just like perfectly bitter, you know?
Mm-hmm. I could drink the crap out of these things.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. The mouthfeel is, it's got some body to it, right? It's like light to, it's not totally watery. It's like kind of light to medium, huh?
Yeah, that's how I'd give it. Yeah, probably a medium. So it's got some good lingering notes to it.
It's got a little prickliness in the mouth from the carbonation, and the finish is long. Like you saying lingering, it's like a long finish. It's like when I'm inhaling, like when the beer has been swallowed, but I'm inhaling, I'm getting a lot of that in the inhalation.
Yes.
Even some alcohol, believe it or not, 4.9, but I'm picking that alcohol up.
I mean, for a 4.9 beer, it's got some alcohol taste to it.
But not in a bad way.
No.
Hey, man, you could really drink these and enjoy them one after the other without any kind of challenge, and that would be the danger, because it's so mellow and awesome that if you drank a few of these in a row, you'd get pretty plastered, I think.
Oh yeah, 6-pack. You definitely feel a good buzz going on in a 6-pack.
Oh man. Uh-oh.
Train's coming.
There goes the Kansas City Southern Railroad. But it's good.
I mean, it's a good medium-bodied beer. I mean, it's all around a real great beer.
I was talking to a friend, and he said he would join us sometimes if he ever gets a chance, but he probably never will. But he wants to do it. But he said we were talking about beers today when he called, and I said when I drink a beer and it's all good and no bad, it's like, why wouldn't you give it 100? I mean, it's perfect, right? This is sort of like a perfect beer, and I think there's a lot of those, but not an enormous amount, but there's a lot. But this is really a perfect beer. I mean, it's just great.
It is. It is.
It's like 43 years of awesomeness. Now, I wish we could try it before they revamped it to see what it was. I bet it was pretty bad because nobody was even buying the stuff.
Yeah. But I mean, I'd give it 100.
Oh yeah. I mean,
all day long.
When I'm drinking a beer, I ask myself, like when I'm doing reviews, I say, if I only could drink this beer for the rest of my life, how would I feel about it? And the way I would feel about it is I would feel great about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't get tired of it. No way.
It's one of those beers you could drink for the rest if that's all you had left.
And you wouldn't miss any other. I mean, yeah, you might miss other ones, but you would be so satisfied with this. I mean, the hoppiness is just dynamite. And it's not what you would call a hoppy beer, but the hops are there and they're present and they're like really aiding this beer.
Yeah, but it's not overwhelmingly hoppy. It's just got the right amount of hop in it.
Yeah, nobody could really say it's a bitter beer, but maybe somebody that only drank like Bud Light might think it's bitter, right?
Yeah.
But I think if they were open-minded about it, they could get used to it pretty fast.
Oh, I think so.
And this beer is not too expensive. It's about what? About $10 a 6-pack or less?
Around here, it's about probably $7 a 6-pack.
Yeah, it might be. It might be.
$7.49 maybe. It's not very expensive.
Yeah, I think the most you'd pay. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm thinking about what I saw at my local store, but I got no complaints. I mean, we did the Michelob Amberbach, and that was good, and it was enjoyable, but it was certainly not perfect by any means. But like we were remarking on that one, we could slam that one back with no issue. But this is one that you'd really want to dive into, right? And if people are watching this and they've never had Anchor Steam,
they need to try it.
I mean, you got to try it. It's in that book that my daughter gave me for my birthday called 300 Beers to Have Before You Die.
Oh, yeah.
They talked about this one. She gave that to me last year, and you just got to have it. It's like me doing the baseball trips. It's like I tell people, they say, well, I've never been to Wrigley Field. I say, look, don't talk about it, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a baseball fan, you got to go to Wrigley Field. Of course, in my opinion, if you got to go to all 30 major league parks, and I've done that. And if you're a beer fan, you got to drink this one.
This would be a top 15 you have to try.
I go along right. I would go along with that.
Yeah.
It's just that good. I mean,
yeah.
For a beer that good, that is so inexpensive, it's just great. It's a modern classic. So I'm glad we did this examination because it's dynamite. What else can we say? I mean,
these are the beers that I would like to talk about every week. I think some of the underrated beers that's out there on the market that really nobody's doing or nobody's talking about.
And you think this is one of them?
I kind of think it is.
Yeah, you don't hear about it too much. I mean, and I don't understand that. People might say, well, Anchor, they're whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I think Anchor is a super company.
Yeah.
And I mean, I never had a beer from them that I didn't think was so delicious. I mean, I have a lot of admiration for that, for the products they make.
Yeah. But the products they're making are an affordable price that you could actually afford to go buy some.
Yeah, as this thing is warming, it's starting to release some more notes that I can't even pin down, but they're lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not one of those $15 4-packs that you got to drink one of them and you can't drink the rest of them.
Right, yeah, you're right. So 2 thumbs up for me, and I would give it the highest possible recommendation.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up, and I'd give it 100 all day long.
100 all day long. Well,
like old Tom said, it's a buy again.
That's right. It's a buy again and again and again and again.
And for the price, for the people that's never tried it, buy it. You're not going to go wrong with it.
Right, and as good as this is, out of a bottle that's been pasteurized, imagine the draft version that is taking it way higher than what we're experiencing here, to a way higher level, if you can imagine that.
I've never seen it on tap around here nowhere, but I'd love to try it if it was.
Me neither, but I saw it when I was in San Francisco in 2006. I saw it, and I said, oh, give me that. And then I had that Dungeness crab with the drawn butter. You know, I mean, it was like paradise, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll be getting back together for another one soon, folks. So thank you for watching this video production. Is that all, I guess?
That's it. Buy it. Go buy this beer. It's good.
Buy it and try it, and you're almost guaranteed to like it.
Exactly.